tell us a little bit about you and your business.
Well, let me tell you a little about NextStep Solutions and the anatomy of a startup. On October 1st, 1995, my original partner Tony Diamond and I were sitting at our kitchen table in San Antonio. We each laid down $5,000 check, said a prayer, and we held up our shingle, NextStep Solutions, and we got into business. And the genesis of our business was we want to eliminate that excuse zone between sales and marketing. And so we created a consultancy, an agency, that helped our clients increase sales by effectively integrating marketing and sales. That was literally 20 years ago on October 1st, 2015. NextStep Solutions, and our tagline is your next step toward success. We have only one trick in our bag, and that's to help our clients increase sales. Now, that could involve many different aspects of the business, from hiring salespeople to training them, creating territory organization, compensation planning, strategy, anything having to do with making the needle move. In fact, I often feel like we're cartographers creating a map. You know, you've been to the mall lately where you see the little X on the directory that says, "You are here." Our job is to take you from "you are here" to where you want to go. We build the map from here to there. And in fact, we have an interesting business model because if we don't get you to your final destination, you don't pay. So I take the risk out of your decision going with NextStep Solutions, and the question you ask yourself, like, how do I know if it works? If I agree on what your destination is, we're going to get you there. What keeps businesses from getting to their next step? Primarily, it's either reticence to invest the operating capital because it's not free. And number two, it's not engaging the right professionals in the right position. In fact, it's kind of interesting. One of the first things we do when we engage a new client is we do assessments and interviews with their personnel. And I've got to tell you that in most cases, we're ending up separating people because they're not the right people in the right place to achieve your objectives. And the way we do that is we take the burden, we say, "Don, we're not being fair to you because we have not placed you in a position of success within our company." So once we put the right people in place and we do the right training and the inspiration and the right strategies, then businesses say, "You know what, that was a very worthwhile investment and I'm glad I made it." We are 100% successful in inspiring our clients to take action and change something in their transformation. I'd like to say we were 100% successful in growing businesses, but one of the difficult challenges of being a consultant is you can give them the recipe for the best chocolate cheesecake in the world. But if they don't know what temperature to put the oven or how long to leave it in, they'll never replicate that cake. So we give them the things to do. If they don't follow through and execute, sometimes that holds us back from being as successful as we want to be. My 3 best Jack snacks, in fact, I have them at the top of my head. Number 1, the depth of our convictions is more important than the length of our knowledge. Said another way, when I had a real job back in the 70s and 80s, I worked for IBM. I didn't know a bit from a byte or a speed from a feed, but I had deep convictions that if you invested in IBM, it was going to help you grow your business. So I learned early on that a sale is an emotion based and supported by logic. It's not the other way around. So if you learn how to sell the heart, the mind will follow. It's not the other way around. Deep convictions trump lengthy knowledge. Number 2, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I've been building relationships all over the country. When I wrote my first book 10 years ago, that opened a lot of doors to us because I let the world know there are 2 ingredients that will comprise 85% of your success in life. If you do these 2 things and get really good, you're going to be 85% successful no matter what business you're in, what product you sell. Interpersonal skills, which is relationship building, and communication skills. If you become really good at building relationships and enhancing communication skills, you will be very successful. But occasionally you have to hear this time and time again. And so it's often a challenge for somebody to hear it for the first time and act upon it. So when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And the third Jack snack. Anybody can jump on a fast-moving train, but it takes a special person to build a railroad. Said another way, you see all these trends and fads and these books that hit the market, and everybody's jumping on them and buying them, and they think this is the next great way to save their business, grow their business. But it takes a special business owner, it takes a special person to build a new railroad. That's why I respect disruptive companies. By disruptive, I mean they're doing something that's totally different, the industry has never seen before. Because you see, Don, the opposite of courage is not cowardice. The opposite of courage is conformity. So if you choose, if you are brave enough to be a nonconformist, you will stand out from the crowd. Outstanding is the ante in the poker game, but if you want to stand out, be a nonconformist. Do things a little bit different. Disrupt the status quo. And so those are probably my three favorite Jack snacks. What makes me get up every morning? Well, first of all, I hear this description of me every day, and I'm blessed, but I want to refute it. They say, Jack, God, you know, it must be nice to be an expert in something that everybody needs, an expert in sales. Well, I don't consider myself an expert at all, Don. I consider myself a lifelong student of the craft. Every day I constantly learn, and I'm like a little bumblebee. I'm pollinating my other clients with knowledge that I pick up. Conversely, with you as a client and a friend, I'm not looking for golden vessels. I'm looking for open vessels, people who are receptive to a new way to do things. If you ever read Malcolm Gladwell's book, one of his best, called The Outliers, he has this 10,000 hour philosophy. And that is, if you do something, if you practice something for 10,000 hours, you can consider yourself an expert. Well, I've probably doubled that in terms of what I invest in to be a better persuasive person, to be a better communicator, to be a better salesperson. And so that's one of the things that makes me tick, is how can I get better tomorrow in the spirit and interest in helping people, whether it's Don McCoy at the Fulshire Area Chamber of Commerce or whether it's any of my clients or friends. What drives me is knowing that I can be better tomorrow for what I have learned today.
Jack, how important is it to associate with the right people?
Well, we had a saying at IBM, and that is, turkeys flock and eagles soar. If you're flocking with turkeys, you know turkeys don't spend a lot of time in the air. They're going to hold you down. They're going to pull you down to earth. But eagles soar. So pick people who are better than you. Pick people who will soar with you. Because there's nothing worse than being held back by the people that you associate with. In fact, my next book I'm writing right now is How to Discover Your Brilliance, Unlocking the Treasure Within. My premise is every person in the world has brilliance inside, but so many people never find it. They never uncover or discover that treasure within. I'm going to help people recognize you're brilliant, I'm brilliant in many different ways, and the life would be much better, the world would be a better place if people would unlock and uncover their own treasures. I'm going to share with you my personal cell phone, and that is 832-344-6998, or email me at the initial J Warkenthien, that's WARKENTHIEN, at NextStep, NEXTSTEP, -solutions.com. Or you can find me at the next Fulshire Area Chamber of Commerce breakfast, because that's how I get strong, and that's how I sharpen my saw. Look forward to meeting you soon. Call me if I can help you, and thank you for the privilege to share this message.